are live. Well, it is Thursday, June the 11th, and at 6 o'clock we're here just like we promised. And we've got lots and lots of photos to go through this week. This week's photo challenge was a lot more difficult. You ask people to do something out of their comfort zone, where 2 weeks ago we were talking about send us your favorites, send us kind of your greatest hits. So a lot more of a challenge this week, and it was 2 weeks since the last stream, and a week passed, and only one person had sent 2 photos, and I was like, oh goodness, I've made it too hard. But in the end, we ended up with, let's see how many
I
pictures.
think it said 36.
Yeah, 36. Of course, I sent in 3, and Heather did a couple. So, but anyway, a lot of pictures are here, and goodness, what a couple of weeks it's been. This morning I got up and I planned on going on a photo trip early in the morning. Get some. It was cloudy earlier, and it got more sunny as the day went on. So, but I was tired, and I knew I had to be kind of ready to do this. So it took me a while to get going. I mowed the yard, which that took a lot out of me. But a little bit later this afternoon, kind of around 1 or so, I went to Middle Creek Falls, my favorite near to Chattanooga waterfall, and there was kind of some shade on the waterfall itself, so it turned out kind of pretty. I made some photos and some videos. I did everything with the Z50, and man, the Z50 is such an awesome camera for landscape photography. The body itself is tiny. It's got a great sensor in it. It produces fantastic images, and the 2 kit lenses, the 16 to 50 and the 50 to 250, are dynamite, and they are super tiny and super lightweight. So let's see, 16 to 250, that's 24 to 375 full frame equivalent. And I also carried an 11 to 16 lens with me, which I used quite a bit. Wow, what an awesome little camera. I think the Z6 is a better camera for landscape, but it's certainly not more convenient. The camera's a little bigger, the lenses are a lot bigger. So yay Z50, get you one. And I vlogged today, and I used the XT3 for today's vlogging. And once again, this week we're using the XT3. Hopefully the picture looks all right. Hopefully you can hear me. Any comments? Can everybody hear us? I see Ian's here. Hello, Ian from Australia. Kirk's here from Mass. He says Mass. I say Massachusetts. Mike Mitchum is here.
Randy.
And Mike's been watching Kirk's channel some. There's Woody. And Randy. Hey, Randy is here. Randy's so nice. All right. So, what have you been doing? You got anything new?
So I would say that I've had my first foray into photographing wildlife in bad light.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I can't remember what night that was. I went to Standifer Gap Marsh, and the light was awful.
Makes it more difficult.
It was rough, and especially on tree swallows. That was a trip.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
And I went back the next morning. The light wasn't even great the next morning, but it was a little softer. It was mostly cloudy that day, and even that little bit made it so much better, even if it wasn't great.
Awesome. Yeah, and I think with a telephoto lens, bad light is amplified even more.
Yeah.
I think the magnification of the lens also magnifies the hard shadows. It makes it difficult. And tree swallows are hard. They have a really bright white breast, and the rest of them is really, really dark. And it's hard to not overexpose the white while not underexposing the dark. It's really tough. And if you've got kind of a flat, muted light, it certainly helps.
Woody says we're popping in and out of focus.
Oh yeah, that's probably to be expected. It'll occasionally focus on that beautiful cabinet behind us. Right now, the focus point is on Heather, and if it decides it doesn't want to focus on Heather, it'll find that cabinet. So sorry about that. We'll be in and out through the night. Randy's loving his Z50. Kirk says he can hear us. That's good. Let's see. What else has been going on? Do you want to talk about our Disney struggles at all?
Oh, man. So, for those that don't know, we are Disney Vacation Club members. We go to Disney once, twice a year, most years.
Yeah.
And they announced that they were opening July 11th. So,
Guess when our reservations are.
our reservation, we check into the hotel on July 11th. So Disney is doing this system where you have to have a park reservation and a park ticket to get in. Well, we were waiting to buy our park tickets until we knew that Disney was going to be open. And now we can't buy tickets.
Yeah. So we've got 7 nights of Disney and no tickets. But the good news is we're staying in a really cool resort. We're staying at the brand new Riviera Resort. It's got a fantastic swimming pool. I mean, we can just lay around by the pool. We can go on some photo adventures in Florida. There's all sorts of stuff we can do. But we'd like to go to the parks a little bit as well.
Yeah. We went to Disneyland last year, so we haven't been back home to Disney World in a minute.
Yeah, so we're ready. And hopefully they'll sell us some tickets and let us have a park reservation sometime before July the 11th. Okay, so here's some Phil news. Let's see if I can get it. See if I can get the Phil news queued up. I probably should have been doing that while you were talking about Disney World.
Oh.
But I didn't. So here is one of my very favorite guitar players. Is a guy named Tom Morello, and he was with Rage Against the Machine, and he's done solo work and blah 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 blah.
Audioslave.
Audioslave, yes. And here you can see in this shot he's played in front of some rather large crowds. And this it's a British publication, a British publisher named Genesis Publications. They're going to do a limited edition book, and it's going to have like 2,000 copies of this limited edition book, and then they'll do a slightly less dolled up version that'll be sold in bookstores, and there will be 8,000 copies of that. Well, when Tom came to Chattanooga and played at a local venue called The Signal, where I'm one of the house photographers, and Ray Soldano, who may be on here, I know he submitted a picture. He's a house photographer there as well. Anyway, I ended up landing that gig, and I got to be the house photographer for Tom Morello. And they contacted me a long time ago, and they asked to use one of the pictures I made and to advertise the second leg of his tour, and they've also used it to advertise his radio show on Sirius XM Radio, and so that was cool. I didn't ask for much. I just asked for an autographed copy of the newest record, which they gladly sent. Well, this Genesis Publications contacted me, and they want to use the same picture in this book. I'll show you the picture here if I can find it. This is the picture. I had access to the pit, which is in between the crowd and the stage. But this picture's with the old D500 and the 70-200 f2.8 from the back of the house, kind of catching the people. And there was a giant screen behind Tom. And anyway, for some reason, Tom really likes this photo, and now I'm going to be published. I'll get to be in a book. And they paid me a little bit of money, not much. I accepted their first offer, and they're going to send me a copy of the book as well. So anyway, that picture just keeps on going. That was all the way back on Star Wars Day 2019. May the 4th be with you. 2019 was the night of that show, and it just keeps on going. So I'm really happy about that. And let's see. We don't tend to vamp much. We just kind of keep on plugging along. And I want to share with you, I like to share YouTube channels that I kind of like, that are not huge, that I think have the possibility of becoming huge. And this week I want to talk to you about this guy right here, Kirk Williamson, and he's actually on here tonight. Hey Kirk, what's going on? I found his channel just in the last week or so. I've got this XT3 that I bought from Mike, and I've been kind of investigating lenses, and I ran across Kirk's channel. I watched probably 10 reviews of the 16 to 80 lens. And when I came to Kirk's review of the 16 to 80 lens, I just thought he was a cool dude, kind of laid back, but really good at photography without being overbearing. There's no fireworks or pyrotechnics in his videos, but they're just, they remind me of mine or maybe David Saylor's. They're just cool. And so I subscribed immediately, and I think you should too. He usually uses various Fujis. You'll see him with a XH1 or a XT30 or an XT3. But in this video, the one where he says thank you for 1,000 subscribers, he is making photos with one of these. With a freaking Leica M-P240, which you can buy used right now for $88.99, $95. Very cool camera, and some of the pictures that he submitted to the live stream tonight are made with that camera, so I'm kind of excited about showing you those when it comes time for pictures here very shortly. Let's see, we need to get rid of that before we get picture ready, and we need to make that full screen, and we need to get rid of that, and we need to get rid of that. And so what do you think? Are y'all ready to see pictures?
He said mine did not cost that much.
Well, that's good. I certainly hope not. I hope not. That's awesome. I think he had some sort of he had an older one that he was able to upgrade or something. Mm-hmm. Good for him. And his father was a Leica shooter, so
that's cool.
keeping it in the family. Let's see, left monitor. Right here. Look at all the pictures that we've got to go through this evening. We got 36 pictures from kind of all over the world, and we'll just go ahead and start. Let me see, I'll need to pull up my email so I can read about these. You guys can look at the thumbnails while I'm searching frantically.
Yeah, he said his dad was a collector.
Oh, that's cool. Very cool. So we've got this new email address to send pictures to, PhilStreamPics, and a lot of y'all sent pictures to the new email address, and a lot of you did not.
I did not.
So if you feel bad about not sending it to the new email address, don't feel bad because Heather didn't send hers to the new place either. Oh, Casey just texted me that she is on the live stream. Hello, daughter of mine, on the live stream. Let's see here. So the first looks like these first ones are from.
Stand by.
Please stand by.
Who are you looking for? I don't know.
Richard is who I'm looking for.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know, and Richard does.
I saw it.
Did you see it?
Yeah, Richard right there.
Oh, right. Thank you so much. I should have told you what I was looking for way earlier, and this would have gone a lot faster. All right, so this is Richard's first picture, and it's number 3. And let's see. Let's see what Richard says. Here, then, some more photographs for you. My photographs very rarely have people in them, and I certainly wouldn't consider myself a portrait photographer or have any skills in that field. So there's his out of his comfort zone. But here are some portraits that I like and are out of his comfort zone. So this is number 3. This is Gerhard. You know how to pronounce that?
Neidager.
Very good. He's just been out for a swim, and he's a very happy man. He made this with the Canon G16, 1/800th of a second. Let's see if it does have it. Well, it says...
we have...
Yeah, well, that's different numbers. But anyway, close enough. I wonder if... I think the... anyway, he looks very happy after his swim. And there's another photograph of the same... And I love the black and white. And look at that, guys. His eyebrows and his hair are the same. I like that. They go together.
That's awesome.
So there's the same guy. This is number 2. And yeah, the settings were inverted on the email. But So he's really happy when he swims, and maybe when he's not swimming, he's a little less jovial.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, swimming is a happy time.
Hmm.
Swimming is a happy time for sure. Both great pictures. I like the shadow detail in this one especially. All right, now this is Kirk. This is Kirk. So these, you know how it kind of Lightroom will put things in order that they were shot. So we'll be jumping around.
Yeah, I'm looking.
We're looking for Kirk's message. There it is. All right, so this is Kirk with the awesome YouTube channel that you should definitely check out. And he is doing a coffee house photo series, and this is one of the shots from that series. Let's see if this is one of the ones with the Leica. All of them, except for the guy walking out of the place with a cold drink, were done with the Leica MP240. So this shot right here, with this mom and daughter on the bar stools, waiting for their breakfast or what have you, really cool shot, was done with the Leica. How cool is that? How cool is that? Now watch this. Watch the next shot. It'll be by a totally different person. Now,
No, that's the same.
Okay, so this is the one that's not done with the Leica. He did this with a Canon G15, which I think is kind of a point and shoot. And I love this shot because this dude looks like Steve Carell to me. He looks exactly like Steve Carell. It's like if Steve Carell was a slightly tough guy biker coming out of the coffee house.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool shot. I like the sky, and I like a lot of things about it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Tough guy. All right, I believe we are back to Richard now. And this shot is this reminds me more of his regular style. This one is number 5. This is at a railway station. He shot this out of the window of a train with an iPhone 8 and edited,
awesome.
he did the edit in Lightroom, and it definitely has his style.
Yeah.
But he doesn't normally shoot people, but that is just everything about that picture is cool. The symmetry of it, I like the light in it, the reflections here and there. Just captured that really nicely. So let's see what is next. Okay, this is Richard Young number 1. This is Peter Muller. He did this with his Nikon D7100 and the 10-24 ultra wide. That dude's got some cool hair too.
Yeah. I like the character in all these.
Yeah.
Every photo has character to it.
Yeah, he's captured the essence of these folks for sure. Very cool. Okay, now we are back to Kirk. This dude likes to drink.
Yeah.
He doesn't like Jack Daniels or Crown Royal, but he likes that Wild Turkey. This is another one of the. This was with a 50mm f1.4 on the Leica camera.
Mm. I
Nice.
like the depth of field on that.
Nice bokeh.
I like the bouquet.
Bouquet, however you say it. It's bokalicious. That dude's got some cool hair. Not a lot of hair on his head, but it looks like his chin is really loaded with hair.
Yeah.
Look at the
The
coffee.
out of focus coffee.
Yeah, the coffee clock. Very cool. Nice watermark too.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, this is another one of Kirk's. And look at the, this is with the 35mm f2, which was the lens that was in the photograph on the B&H camera that you can get. That has just fantastic out of focus areas, and it looks like the guy's like, "What are you looking at?" or something.
Yeah.
Very cool.
He said that last one was shot at 1.4. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this one's at f4, but still has
Yeah,
great out of focus area.
and bokeh.
Yeah, very pretty. And that dude is just cool.
Yeah, again, the essence of that person is
Yeah,
captured.
I mean, you could just imagine sitting by him at Waffle House.
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool. They probably, I don't know if they have Waffle Houses in Massachusetts.
I don't know.
We got them on every corner down here.
Kirk said he was talking with his wife.
Oh, well, no
with
wonder.
Kirk's wife.
And no wonder he was surprised. All right, this is another one of Richard's. We got the Richard and Kirk show going on tonight. So this is Richard's number 4. This is Mike Rand, his sister, at his sister-in-law's birthday party, shot with a D850 at 1/100th, ISO 80 and f1.8. Although it says f3.5. Am I reading the wrong picture?
Yeah, I think you
Yes,
are,
yes,
because
I
this
am.
one, I was like,
Yes.
the ISO on that is
16,000.
Yeah,
Welcome to
it-
Nikon Full Frame, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That is very nice. Like, he's pointing at me saying, "Get the settings right, you big dummy." Well, they're right over here on the screen. I should read them from here instead of from the emails.
Yeah.
Then I might not mess it up. It's really cool.
Yeah, I like this.
You know, that lens, that's the Nifty 50, the Plastic Fantastic, the 50mm f1.8G. I think everybody should have one, be it Nikon or Canon or Sony or Fuji or whatever. Just a great little lens, and I bought mine used and very happy to have it. I use it regularly.
Kirk says they don't have very many Waffle Houses.
I imagine not. That's why they have all those cool coffee houses like he's making pictures
Yeah,
of.
because they don't have Waffle House.
Because they don't have a Waffle House on every corner. All right, now this is Shelly Ayers. Now Shelly is a friend of mine and Ray's, and she has a D7500, and I think I've got an email from her as well. But she used to shoot film a long time ago and just got that D7500 pretty recently. And Ray convinced her to submit a picture, and I'm glad he did. I really like the composition of this with the tree,
Yeah.
the way the branches are hanging over the couple. We got some backlighting going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. I think she said that they use that for some sort of important event in
Was
their.
it an engagement or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
something.
engagement photos.
Yeah. They use this as part of their save the date. There we go.
Oh, very cool.
Very cool.
That does look like a really nice save the date.
All right, let's see what we got next. That was at 55mm on an 18-55, so I guess that's the kit lens. And nicely done. Bill Fouth. Now,
This
Bill,
is cool.
the amazing Bill Fouth of Mexico Beach, Florida. Bill has, and my good buddy Brett Douglas had a camera converted to infrared years ago, and he would send me some amazing pictures from time to time. But this one has been converted, but you still have to use a filter. I'm not sure exactly how that works. But, and I think, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I think if you take an infrared shot, it's kind of all one color. And I don't know if he's had to add the color to those palm trees. But even if this wasn't infrared, it's just a cool picture. I love the everything in focusliness of it. What we got here? It's that's the 15-45. I think that's I believe that is the kit lens. Because I think he said he had a Canon converted. Yeah, 15-45. That's this lens right here that we have on the
M50.
on the M50. But I think his is a different mirrorless APS-C Canon, but it's this same lens, and this is a great little lens. It reminds me of the Z50 in its smallness, you know, because it's kind of 24 to 70 ish equivalent, but it's the size of a 51.8. Very cool. Very cool. Maybe I'll have I mean, it's like only about $250 to have her camera converted. So maybe one day I'll get one of these out of the pile and send it off and let them convert it. So, but you know what? Even once you get it converted, there's still, you know, it's not just automatic that you're going to get a picture like this. I would think that the skill set is pretty difficult. I bet there's a lot of work involved.
Oh, they're saying this is the Port St. Joe Lighthouse, and Cuban Rum says he has family in Port St. Joe.
How about that?
Yeah.
Small world.
Bill confirmed it is that lighthouse.
Oh, he did it with the M50. So same camera, not just same lens, but same camera. Very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, next up, Heather Brianne Boyd. We went to a protest kind of early in the protests. This was a midday protest, so there wasn't anything crazy going on. And Heather had the D7100 and one lens to rule them all. She had the 18 to 400 Tamron, and she's at 220 here on this one, 1/320th of a second. This guy was standing. The protest was in front of the courthouse here in Chattanooga, on Walnut Street, just a few blocks from the pedestrian bridge. And this was the top of the county jail parking garage, and that guy was standing up there. And I thought she got a really cool shot. She got a bunch of other shots. We got a video coming up that I think has 39 photographs that we made at this protest. But you know, I've got 13 videos done right now, so it'll be a while. And speaking of that, I meant to talk about this earlier. I do videos twice a week, one every Wednesday morning, one every Saturday morning at 7:30. And right now I'm so far ahead, I'm almost done with July. So what I'm thinking I might do on the weeks that there's not a live stream, I might release a video on Monday morning to just kind of clear that backlog out. And I'm thinking what I might do is because I've got 2 XT3 videos completed, and I might make Monday, at least every other week for a little while, XT3 day. So be on the lookout for possibilities of XT3 videos on Mondays, probably starting this coming Monday. All right, there's Heather's picture, and it is cool. I like the composition of it, and you know the lines are cool. You got the square at the top of I guess that's the elevator, maybe over on the left.
Yeah.
Just everything, and it looks like he's looking right at you. He's like, I am being photographed at this time.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, now we're on a protest theme. Now this is George Nagata. I think this is Wrigley Field.
Oh wow.
And you know, because he lives in Chicago, and this is a cool picture. Very cool. Lots and lots of police. Nothing doesn't look like anything's going down, but they're ready just in case it does. And this is at 6400 ISO with looks like the 18 to 55 kit lens at f4.5. It's kind of nice. Blue hour. I like. You know, I'm crazy about the blue hours.
I really like. Yeah, it's blue hour, and then you have this red brick down here, and the Cubs logo is red and blue.
And there's blue police lights and red taillights.
Yeah.
It's definitely got a red and blue theme. You're right. Very cool. I think I'm going to have to dip into the cooler. All right, let's see what's next. Great job, George. Thanks for sending that in. Oh, I always start saying thanks for sending that in about halfway through, but everybody who I haven't thanked already, thank you so much for sending your pictures in, because this stream would be really boring if it was just me and Heather talking about Disney World.
Yeah.
All right, now this is Jason. Noyes. I don't know how to Noyes. I'm not sure how to pronounce Jason's name, but his normal thing to photograph, he says, is air shows. And he sent me a couple of photographs of this young lady practicing on the horse, and both of them are really cool. A lot of detail, a lot of great color, and she looks like she really knows exactly what she's doing.
Mike says George's favorite camera store burned during that same protest.
Oh yeah, I remember him saying something about that when he was commenting on either when you posted your pictures or when I posted mine. Yeah. Yeah, that's just don't let them burn Robert's camera.
No, please don't.
You ever ride a horse?
Yes.
Really?
My parents did yesterday, actually.
How about that? I bet that little girl right there can ride better.
Oh yeah.
She looks like she knows what she's doing. All right.
I like that picture a lot.
Thank you, Jason. There she is
Oh,
again.
this is great.
This one's even prettier. I wish I had settings for these, because I'm thinking there's a lot of shutter speed.
Mm-hmm.
You got good sun angle here, and so there's plenty of light to put a lot of shutter speed in it. And look, even the hair on the horses, everything is.
Yeah, you can see every muscle.
Yeah, that's a strong horse for
yeah.
sure. Very cool. Very, very cool. I think she wears her shirt like that a lot. You can see her tan line is exactly on her rolled up sleeve shirt. Very cool. Is that? I wonder if that's an oil well in the background on the left hand side.
Oh.
Over here. Doesn't that look kind of like a? I don't know what that is.
Well, maybe. Very, very cool picture.
Yeah. Thanks, Jason. All right, now this is Ian of Australia, and he has been. Let me see if I can find his email. I think he's in here. He's been practicing. Okay, so this is image 2 taken with the Z6 and the LAOWA 60mm 2:1 macro lens and 68mm extension tubes. He says I do a lot of macro photography at 1:1 with the Z6 and the Nikon 105 2.8 lens on my dining tabletop, so this is a significant step up for me at around 3:1. The original ambition was to use a Sony A6400, which would have given an apparent modification of 4.5:1, but that was a bridge too far for the manual Neewer focus rail, or at least his ability to control it. So we switched back to the Z6. This image is a 5-image focus stack of a portion of grass head. The seat is about 3mm across from tip to top. So
wow.
So that's 3mm, and I've got it filling up a 27-inch monitor over here to my left. Very cool.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Ian. Oh, this is mine. Okay, so I've been using, and I think Bass Angler and I are using the same lens. This is that's the cat, by the way, Ruby. And I've been doing photographs with my new XT3 and this adapted Tokina 100mm f2.8 macro lens. It has a manually controllable aperture, and so you manual focus and manual. And anyway, so I mean macro photography of this variety is definitely kind of in my comfort zone, but doing it with the Fuji and figuring out how to get the Fuji to do what I need, that's the out of my comfort zone part. But I can't remember, because it shows f1 because it's not sending and it shows 50mm, but it's not. That's 100mm, but that's probably about f11, I believe. And no vibration reduction or image stability or any of that kind of stuff. And at 1/60th, still I don't see too much motion blur. So yay me! Thanks me, thanks me for sending that in. Way to go, me! Oh, that's me again. And this is same lens. This is Black Eye Susan out on the back porch, and this will be. I've got a video coming up in a million years because I'm so far ahead, and this is the thumbnail for that video. A little backlit backside of a Black Eye Susan bloom. That was fun. I made those two the same day. And this is Bill's. This is another M50 shot with, and I love the way the leaves on the trees in infrared photography turn bright white. It's so cool. It looks like a winter wonderland, and it's definitely not, because that's Mexico Beach, Florida. But really, really neat. And I love the way infrared makes the sky look.
I wonder if this was, Mexico Beach had that bad hurricane come through. I wonder if this is the damaged part of it.
I would say that all of it is the damaged part of it.
Oh yeah, valid.
Yeah, but yeah, Bill's and his lady are in real estate down there, so it's a tough road to hoe right now, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Beautiful shot though.
Yeah.
And I remember my friend Brett, who I was talking about, who had a camera converted to infrared, and he took a picture from Raccoon Mountain, and you could see clearly all the mountains for miles. Like the infrared took the haze out of the sky.
Oh wow.
So that's another thing that you can do with this sort of photography. It's just so cool looking.
Yeah.
Very, very unusual. Thanks, Bill. All right, that's Bass Angler, and he's using this lens in this shot, the Tokina 100mm f2.8 at f10, as you should if you're doing a macro. What's the name of that?
That's a Japanese mimosa tree.
Thank you. Very pretty. I got a picture last year of a great blue heron standing in one with those blooms all around it. It was one of my favorite shots of the whole year. But that's really, really nice. The detail in the bloom is nice, and the fall off as it falls out of focus is nice, and the colors are extra nice with cheese. I just like everything about that. Thank you, Bass Angler. Aha, this is Bass Angler's other shot, and in that video where I used this lens, I was chasing around a little bee, fly, whatever,
Probably
and
like
I
a
think
sweat
it's one just like that that
yeah.
I was chasing around. I didn't share any of the pictures of it, but this is cool, and I don't know what that little flower is, but I like it, and I think there's some like that blooming around here right now. He said he normally makes photographs of things with talons. He's an eagle photographer, so this is definitely not his normal bag, but very cool. Both shots are really cool. Get you one of these lenses, people, if you don't have one. I should put it up. All right, what's next?
Oh, it's you
me.
again.
I submitted too many pictures. I got to show you this lens. This is the craziest lens in the house, and now I can't even find it. It's the Hanamix. What a weird brand name. It's made in Korea. That's the Hanamix 135 2.8 adapted to the Fuji. And unlike the last shot where I was right by the Black Eyed Susan, this one I was all the way across the back porch from it. And anyway, that's a weird lens, which is strange to me, and attached to a strange to me camera, and making fairly pretty photographs. This picture, unlike the other two, is not going to be in any video, so it's only available here during the live stream. All right, what's next after I quit flooding the stream? Heather Boyd. Who in the world is Heather Boyd? So this was the next day when you went.
Yeah.
You went the first day and got the bad light, and the next morning you you nailed the tree swallow in the birdhouse photo. It's so cute. Tree swallows are awesome. Tell me about the shot.
So I had been driving around this area. They've got all of these birdhouses up for the tree swallows, and this one's pretty close to the road, so I actually drove up, and there was another tree swallow. What you don't see is there's a sign just to the right of this birdhouse, and I was photographing that tree swallow on that sign, and I actually
Click show.
oh sorry
Yeah.
And so this bird noticed me and started poking its head out of the birdhouse, so I was shooting out of the car window, so I just put the car in reverse and just sat right beside this house for a few minutes, and this bird just looked at me and tilted its head like, what is this that's near my home?
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
So you're liking your new lens?
Yeah.
I think so. I want to borrow it one day.
Okay.
Some Thursday while you're stuck at work.
Yeah.
I'll borrow it and go wear it out.
Don't wear it out.
Okay, I'll make photographs with it.
Okay.
All right, what is next? Okay, this is Ian's other picture. Let me see. I have his email. This is with the 200 to 500 5.6 at 350 millimeters on the Z6, and he hasn't been able to get out much during the coronavirus lockdown. And got the tree. They were at a drone gathering.
Hmm.
That is a pretty subject.
Yeah, that tree is very cool.
Very nice indeed. I like just the greens and the blues and the trees.
Looks like a nice tree for woodpeckers.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Maybe we could make it come back to life somehow.
Yeah.
But it looks cool like that.
Mm-hmm.
7.1.
Oh, he's using the 205.
On a Z6, he said.
Oh, cool. Ooh,
All right,
this is
now
nifty.
Woody has sent in 3 photographs, and all of them he's doing some sort of a filter thingy, which I don't actually even understand fully. Let's see. Phil, enclosed are 3 photos for your Out of Your Comfort Zone live stream. The background for all 3 photos is that I've been creating new picture profiles using Nikon's picture control utility. These 3 photos have my red-02 picture control. I have about 30 picture controls saved in the utility, including some Fuji profiles. They are fun to work with for a change of pace. Now, there's 3 of these that he sent, and this one is by far my favorite.
Yeah, this
It
is
almost reminds me of infrared,
Yeah.
which is, it's interesting because we were looking at Bill's pictures. But I really like this. I like the composition with the lines of the train, and I love the clouds. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So that's Woody 1. Let's see. Oh, that's with a 10-24, so that must be...
And it's at 10.
Yeah, so that's an ultra wide, probably APS-C
Mm-hmm.
lens.
Ooh, that's cool too.
Yeah. I wonder what color that bicycle actually is. I want to say it's probably light blue. What do you think?
Yeah, probably. This is awesome.
Look at the American flag still looks red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Which you would think. I guess if I don't know. It's cool though.
Yeah.
It reminds me of downtown Chattanooga where there's all these decorative bicycles kind of placed around.
Looked
like
like
that-
something out of the 70s to me.
Yeah. Well, look, the tires have been painted.
Oh,
It's like
wow.
it's like the bicycle is painted cloud and sky color.
He said he's shooting with the D7100.
Cool. You know anybody that likes that camera?
Me. Although it doesn't have a shutter speed sometimes that I want.
I hear you. All right, so that's cool. Thank you, Woody. And this is Woody's other one. Now this one, the sky doesn't have as much wildness as that last
It
one.
reminds me of that place we went to last night.
Yes, it does. It was like if the place we went to last night where we just had. Actually, Heather had a great night of photography last night. She had the 18-400 taking pictures of completely tame ducks at a little pond about like that. And I had the Fuji and a 28-105 manual focus, and I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, but she was tearing it up. So anyway, it looks like that pond after some sort of a bloody massacre
Yeah.
has taken place. It's
Yeah,
almost like a horror
nuclear-
movie or
yeah,
something.
it's awesome.
Very cool. Thanks, Woody.
Yes.
Ray Soldano has purchased extension tubes, and he put them on his. He's got that Sigma 120-300 continuous f2.8 lens, and he's taken a picture of this cigar, making the cigar as big as a Buick. And look at the depth of field; it just falls off immediately. Ray also pointed out that his sensor might need cleaning, and I see what he means. Of course, when you're doing shots like this, to try to get any depth of field at all, you usually sling that thing all the way down to about f22. And if there's anything on your sensor, f22 will reveal it. I mean, immediately. But that's really cool, Ray. Welcome to macro. I don't think I've ever seen Ray do anything even remotely similar to macro before, so this is definitely out of his comfort zone. All right, thanks, Ray.
This is great.
Now this is the name I can't pronounce. and he made sure to tell me. 2 weeks ago I couldn't tell if he was a male or a female by his name, but you can read his name right here, and maybe you can pronounce it. But I love this picture.
Yeah.
This is with a Z6, I believe he says. This was photographed in Qatar with a Z6. I'm not sure what lens, but it looks like this youngster's got makeup on.
Yeah.
It's got some eyeliner going on, and maybe some makeup right here has spilled over, but that baby don't need any makeup. Look at those eyes. Holy mackerel.
I'm sure that's a cultural thing.
Yeah, it's just fantastic.
It's beautiful.
What a beautiful photo. I love the sharpness of especially the left eye, and
Yeah.
then I'm a sucker for bokeh, and this photo has it.
Yeah,
For sure.
The eyes are pretty.
Yeah, I mean, the eyes have it.
Yeah.
Thank you for sending that in. Okay, now, is this Qatar? I'm definitely not familiar with that skyline, but it's beautiful. Look at all those modern skyscrapers. Wow. Very cool. Uh-oh.
Yes, it is.
Heather's Googling the Qatar skyline,
It is
and
Qatar.
she confirms that is where this is. Very cool. What a neat place to be able to take pictures. That's amazing. Look at those buildings.
Yeah.
Very cool. Uh-oh, we've gone down a Google rabbit hole over
Hey,
here.
now I'm just looking at where it is.
Okay. What's
The city,
yeah,
Doha.
Doha. Okay. So, yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for sending that in. Oops. All right, this is Cuban
Ooh.
Rum, and let me see if I think he messaged me about his.
An orchid.
Now he's using, I don't know, do you remember David Saylor's video recently about a 500 millimeter mirror lens?
Yes.
That's what he used on this.
Oh, cool.
He says, I decided to use my most hated lens, the Nikkor 500 millimeter reflex. I have owned this lens for 40 years and have hated it since the day I bought it. That's awesome. Talk about out of your comfort zone. So to add a little more complexity to it, I coupled a Speedster adapter for the Fujifilm X mount. Wow. So he's adapting it to a Fuji. I guess that may be a speed booster that he's put on there, or maybe not. I'm not sure what a Speedster adapter is. He used it with a XH1, which has stabilization, unlike my XT3. It's got a IBIS. He says he's not proud of either photo, but I think this one's pretty.
That's cool. Yeah.
I think it's pretty. I like the vignetting on it. I like the colors. I mean, I guess if I was really going to pick nits, it could be a smidge sharper, but goodness gracious, that lens is impossible to make a sharp photo with. But I think it's beautiful. I love the colors. So good job, Cuban Rum. All right, let's see what's next. Look at the kitties.
Kitties.
Look at the kitties. Now, look at this. See the bokeh? See the donut bokeh? That apparently is something that you'll see on these mirror reflex lenses.
I love this.
A mirror lens on a mirrorless camera, and the kitties are cute. This looks like a vintage photo to me. I know he just made it the other day, but it has a really, really cool vintage look. I mean, this could be artwork on the wall of a pet store or a veterinarian's office. It's just super, super cool. I think you should be proud of this picture, Cuban Rum. Very nice. Very nice indeed. I mean, it's not going to win an award for sharpness, but it might.
It's cool.
It might win an award anyway. Sharpness isn't everything. This is Joy. Joy had just bought her Nikon Z50, and this is actually not Joy. This is Joy's photo. That's her husband Mike, who has the coolest hair of anybody I've ever seen. And this is somewhere in Uruguay. I don't know where this is, but we've got to figure out where it is because it looks like a pretty place to take pictures.
Yeah.
And she, like I say, she made this with her Z50 and the 16 to 50 kit lens on it the day she got it.
Hmm.
Hi, Mike. And you know these two pictures would almost work for or maybe they actually would work for the photo challenge that we're about to have, which I'll tell you about when we get done with these pictures. But here's another. Look at the reflection of the sky there on the lake or pond.
Yeah, and the barn.
Yeah, the barn's reflecting. Really nice. It's got some Simpsons clouds, I like to call them.
Oh, yeah.
And this one looks kind of like an elephant.
It does.
So, and this one looks like a Pegasus with no legs or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I got an ink blot test going on over here with these clouds. But anyway, very cool. Very cool indeed. Beautiful colors. That's the Z50 color output is fantastic. Really, really good. So it's amazing how inexpensive that camera is because it really does well. Thank you, Joy. All right, now this is David Saylor's. This is David Saylor's, and this is with his Mavic Mini. And this is a stitched panorama that he made, which is really cool. I guess I'm not sure exactly where those baseball fields are, but this is probably somewhere in Trenton. I think he said he was 200 feet altitude when he made this shot, and it's cool.
Yeah.
It's real. I don't know. I don't know if that's Lookout Mountain in the background or if he's looking away from Lookout Mountain. You know, because he's right by Lookout Mountain,
Yeah.
right there in Trenton. I bet he's probably looking away from Lookout Mountain.
Yeah, if I had to guess.
Yeah, or maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, it's really cool, really pretty colors. And if you ever look at my YouTube channel, like go to my YouTube channel, the banner picture across the top is a drone stitched panorama that was made 400 feet above my back porch. I just took off, went straight up, made the shots, and landed, and brought the memory card inside and stitched them together. But it's easier, especially the Mavic Mini, which is what he's using. I've got one of those, and they cannot handle high altitude because it's always more windy at high altitude, and that thing gets blown. It gets pushed around.
Well, it's only what 249 grams.
Yeah, exactly. And so 200 feet up that's up there for a Mavic Mini. Mine was at 400 feet, which is the legal limit above ground level.
You were with a Phantom 4 Pro. Though.
With a Phantom 4 Pro, so that's not a fair fight. But this picture is very cool. Good job, David. Yeah. David said David was talking like it wasn't very good. I think it looks great.
Yeah, it's very
like
pretty.
I like it.
Next.
This is Mike Mitchum with his new XT4. I can't remember. He said, let me see if I can find it.
This is Verbena.
You think it's Verbena? I thought it was Lantana.
No, Lantana grows tall. This is Verbena.
Okay. Well, I will say that you are right whether I know it or not, because you probably are, and you usually are. You see Mike Mitchum's name over here?
Not immediately.
Oh, I think his was.
Just type in.
His had an E in JPEG. So.
No. Oh, there it is.
Since I haven't shot a lot of macro and I don't like using a tripod a lot, I use the 18 to 135 lens on the XT4 with a close-up Canon filter. So that's a screw-on filter that magnifies. I have one of those in the filter thread size for my old 50mm 1.8, and it's kind of cool. And
so do you use the 18 to 135 on the XT4?
Yes.
Okay.
That is correct. Which is a nice all-around focal length, 27 to like 200 and something. Low 200s, I would think, would be the conversion. But I love the colors in it. I really love the colors in it, and I like the water droplets on the flower, on the Lantana.
It's not Lantana, it's Verbena.
That's what I meant to say. Thank you. Very cool, Mike. Very cool indeed. So, let's see. Is that the last one?
I think it is.
What?
It is. It is the last one.
Holy cow! That's the last one. And well, we have been on the air for about an hour, which
Yeah.
I figured we would get through tonight's really quickly. Let's see. I need to close this.
He said he sprayed water on it.
Ah, well, it looks good. It looks
Yeah.
it looked natural. I would have thought that that's the way it was. Like you stumbled upon it and it had water already on it. All right, so let's talk about 2 weeks from tonight, which is what date? Heather always finds the date for me.
2 weeks from tonight is the 25th.
So Thursday the 25th. Do you want to do 6 o'clock again or 5:30? You want to stay with 6?
I don't care.
Okay, we'll do 6. We'll do
Okay.
6. Yeah, because won't the taco truck be there?
The taco truck
We
is
need to
gonna
do
be
6
there.
because Heather gets off at 5 and's got to go to the taco truck. All right, so
Sorry.
no problem. This is the challenge, and I'll give you an example here in a minute. I want you to take 2 photographs of the same subject, but I want you to take it with. I mean, it doesn't have to be drastically. It doesn't have to be 14 millimeters and 500 millimeters, but I'd like to see 2. Try to make an artistically pleasing photograph of the same thing from 2 different focal lengths. You can show how you can look at that item compressed with a long focal length, and you can show how you can show it expanded with a wide focal length. And let me give you an example. Earlier, was it late last year, or was it was early this year?
Oh.
It was the first time we took the Z50 out, or
at
maybe
Chickamauga.
maybe
It was right before COVID.
it was the day I dropped the Z50
Yeah.
off the back of the car. But this is the scene at 11 millimeters on the Z50, so it's like 16 and a half millimeters full frame equivalent. And like you can see, there's a log at the top rear of the photo on the left, and this is North Chickamauga Creek.
Yeah.
And
So,
I-
RD asked if it has to be 2 different lenses or can it be the same lens?
it can be the same lens. You can, especially with Heather's 18 to 400. But yeah, I mean, if you got a 24 to 70, it can be the same lens. It doesn't have to be drastically, but I'd like to see the same thing looked at from 2 different ways. Now, when I made this shot, I was standing inches from the bottom of the frame here, and this shot is of. I mean, it's not the exact same area, but it's basically the same area. But instead of at 11 millimeters, I was at 150 millimeters, and I stepped back a long way. And it's the same spot, but look how compressed it is. It looks like there's way more stuff going on, and with the wide shot, it looks like there's way less stuff going on. But this is the same place on the same night with 2 different focal lengths, 11 millimeters and 150. So that's the photo challenge. I don't think it's too hard. I mean, don't make it harder than it is. I mean, if you want to, take a picture of your cat on your neighbor's front porch at 200 millimeters and at 50. Whatever. But try to make it look artistically pleasing, and take a. What are you going to do? You've got that 18 to 400.
I've got that 18.
You should be able to kill it. I mean, in Joy's 2 pictures that she submitted this week, one of Mike with that barn kind of close, and one of the barn way back. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Just let's see what different. Why do you need all these different lenses? Well, you can demonstrate the differences of what those lenses can do with this week's photo challenge. So let's see, we've been on the air for almost exactly an hour. Man, we almost look like we know what we're doing. This is awesome. So thanks very much for submitting your pictures. Thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Gosh, I didn't pay much attention to the chat. Have I been missing stuff in the chat?
No, I've been letting you know. So, Kirk said thanks for the plug, and
You're
he
welcome,
enjoyed
Kirk.
the stream.
Awesome. RD, because I like a lot of lenses. I enjoyed that too. All right, so thanks everybody, and let's say I'm gonna put the photo challenge on the screen again. So if you forget, you can just pull this video up as Mr. Ray Soldano suggested that I do, and put this at the very end. You can just scroll to the end, and it'll remind you what the photo challenge is. And let me see here. I have to pull this up to. Oh my goodness, what have I done?
I don't know.
I may not be able to turn the stream off.
Oh, you've got it minimized.
Thank you.
Oh no, close that. Okay, and now click on Chrome.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, well, we'll just stop streaming this way and it'll figure out that we